Hello and welcome to this showcase of my Indiana Jones Hatay heavy tank. This is the tank that is featured in the last Crusade. It is a movie prop that is was built inspired by mostly by the World War I British tanks, so like the Mark IV and I think Mark VIII is one of the closest ones you can see here with a turret from I think it's a Churchill I. I might be wrong on that. But this is not made to be historically accurate. This is made to be as accurate to the movie as possible. So it's an entirely custom model, which I've tried to build and keep as good as I can in scale with the minifigure. There are some things, however, where I have gone a little bit bigger, mainly in terms of the height, and that is to be able to get a more detailed and full interior. Because if I would be to make it just a bit lower, to make it the proportions more accurate, then I would lose quite a lot of headroom and headspace inside. So that is a bit of a trade-off. Otherwise, I would say that the tag hold up very nice scale, it has a nice side profile. See from the front, it does have it's quite intimidating from the front. I think I've captured the shape quite well compared to what we see in the movie. And there's quite a lot of different accessories scattered around the tank. So first and foremost, I just want to make a comment about the color choice or choices. See, it is built in dark tan, and that is simply because I have very little regular tan colored bricks and specialized elements. I have more in dark tan, but I do want to point out that I don't have that many. As a matter of fact, I think I've used up my entire supply of slopes in dark tan in this one specific model. So it really is. I've really gone all in on this one, and I think I've used up all the smaller kind of tiles. Wedge plates that are sort of below the 3x6 size. So like these smaller 3x2 and 2x2 wedge plates. Yeah, I've used them all here. So I really have sort of tried to go all in on this build. It does have quite a few features, which we're going to go through in this video. Let's start out just at the exterior, both looking at features and some of the details. So of course, first and foremost, if you look on the sides here, we have the turrets on the side, and they can rotate quite far. You have a 90 degrees of rotation. And one thing that I am quite happy with is how, when you look here, it does swivel all the way, and the way it's designed means that you really never have a gap where you can see in. Like the curved slopes here covers everything up quite nicely. Oh, and you can see that you can tell there's a few places where I ran out of parts in the correct color. For instance, right there, that is a light bluish gray brick with a snot brick that I just don't have in dark tan. So it's light bluish gray for now. At some point, hopefully I can replace that. So we have the turret on both sides. Then moving further to the side here, we have these large hatches on each side. And if you look in there, you can see a happy Nazi, German soldier. And just generally here, you have some wooden beam on the side here, just a little bit of extra detail up here, same over here. Now, this piece over here, this is a bit of an homage to the Indiana Jones Lego video game. And this is actually supposed to be a barbed wire. This is probably a more intricate way or more detailed way to represent barbed wire, but I just think that this looks quite nice. It looks nice, and it's fun to have a little homage to the game. So moving on to the back, it does have quite a long back. It's quite a big model. I don't know exactly how many pieces this has, but it's a very compact model. It has quite a lot of weight to it. So when you look in the rear here, it's not too much. I have a little hook here, so you could carry something or tow something with it. I felt that made sense. You have these bars here, which I'm not quite sure what the idea behind them are, but they are there on the tank, so I threw them in here. And in the rear here, you can see you have these grill pieces on the back here, and this is of course where the engine sits. And I made it so that if you pull on this piece of this little box or piece of equipment here, you can open the hatch up, and you can see the engine in there. Now, that is not necessarily 100% accurate, but it is an engine in there, and I think that is quite a nice feature to have. Now, a little comment about this hatch. I would prefer to have these grille tiles in dark tan. I'm not a huge fan of how this dark bluish gray just breaks up in the middle of the back like this. So eventually I hope to be able to replace those. Now, looking at the other side, you notice right away that a lot of things are the same. The bar here on the side, the opening hatch, and the turret. The difference really is just a bit of a different selection of extra equipment, some extra gears, tank of water tank. So quite similar on this side. Now, looking at the front, what you have here is you can see the little lookout hole there. You can also see the chain and another wooden beam. So there's not too much to go on in the front. Quite nice angles coming together. So one thing I want to comment on first is that the treads, they spin very easily. Now this is a very hard surface, I don't think I can make it happen here, but it's a they spin very easily. And I have built a Mark IV tank back in, I think, 2013. And one thing, I took some inspiration in terms of technique when I built this, looking at that old model. And one thing that that model struggled with was the treads, and it basically was really hard to make them turn. So what I did here is that you can see that the side paneling, which I've used, which is utilizing a snot technique, I put those just outside the treads. Before I had them inside, which I suppose might be a bit more accurate, but putting these side paneling just outside the treads makes for such a much smoother experience. So on the inside here, you can see you have these curved slopes that help the treads turn and turn very nicely. So that's one thing I'm very happy with on this build. So last bit on the exterior is of course the turret, and it's not I think it's okay. It's not 100% accurate. I wouldn't say that there's some angle that I'm missing. Like for instance, in the front here, this should slant upwards a little bit too. But I don't really have any more pieces, so I kind of threw this together. I think I could make a more accurate one, given a bit more parts. So perhaps we'll see an update on that in the future. But you could see there. One good thing about this though is that I have built it using some round plates down there underneath there, so it does clear the treads, which is important, so you can actually swivel around. And of course the gun moves up and down. And lastly, there is indeed an opening hatch that can fit a minifigure. So I'd say that the turret does everything the turret's supposed to do. Now, here's another thing with this tank that makes me very happy about this model, is that, as I hinted at before, there is indeed a full interior. So let me just, like so, remove the top section and welcome inside. So you can see inside here is not 100% accurate to a real tank. There is, for instance, the whole thing that should sit beneath the turret is not there. But to be fair, I think it was, with the exception of, I think it was one scene, everything inside that's filmed inside is filmed in a separate movie set in the movie. So being able to fit what I wanted to do in here would be kind of impossible, because it didn't really, the movie, used a different film set to film the interior shots of the tank. So hence why I decided to make it a bit taller, so I can actually fit more and get the interior to kind of resemble what we actually see in the movie. Namely, of course, the driver in the center and the two benches on each side. So I don't have them yet, but if I had Henry Jones and Marcus, they would sit on each side here. So I have the space for that, which I'm happy with. And you can see right there, and same on this side, is of course where the hatches open up, these large ones. And you can also see that in the back there we have some equipment and well, things to fire, ammunition. And you can see right there, it's front. And the entire thing, or the entire roof rests on these plates here on each side. So when you want to close that up, you just place that in and pull it down, and there we are. And that is about it. That is the complete Hatay heavy tank from Indiana Jones. I hope you enjoyed this review or this showcase of this MOC, and goodbye.